First up, you have the Nine of Swords, then you have the Eight of Pentacles, and then you have the Seven of Pentacles. Your challenge for the few months is the Star reversed. And then you have the Queen of Wands. So, I think some of you might be kind of a little bit busy these next few months. Now, the Nine of Swords represents that I think you're going into the few months kind of feeling maybe like you lost something. It could be about nightmares. It could be about anxiety. You're worried about something. Maybe there's something that's kind of like worrying you that might be coming up within the few months that you feel could either be good or bad or whatever. But sometimes I even get this, or we in general, this could just be stuff in your mind. It could not even be anything set really in reality or which would actually happen, but you might be fearful. Maybe there's some stuff on the news or whatever that is just stressing you out. You don't really know how things are going to go moving forward, and it's just causing you a little bit of this anxiety, and you have worries on your mind basically. But these worries are constant. Like this person, they wake up in the morning thinking about it. They go through the day kind of worrying about it. They go to sleep worrying about it. Maybe they have nightmares about it. It's almost like this cycle, this constant cycle of worrying about something. But as you move towards through the few months, you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is all about honing your skill. It's about kind of doing something maybe repetitively, or trying to learn more about something, or trying something out, but very consciously you're trying to perfect something. So you're not just doing it mindlessly. You're actually thinking about it and trying to figure out, okay, you know what, how can I better this than the last time I did it? Whatever this represents for you. There's something that you're kind of working on and you're trying to perfect, but you're consciously trying to do it. You're trying to troubleshoot or figure out, play with different ways of doing something to try to really get it to be a product or an outcome that you like. So this could be whatever this represents for you going for these few months. And then by the end of the few months, you're going to have this Seven of Pentacles energy. And now this energy is it's slow moving. It's not a bad thing. I think you're going to see some results, but sometimes these results take time. Sometimes when you're working on something and you're trying to develop it, like if you're a gardener, as soon as I did this, I thought of my mom. My mom loves to plant plants. She loves to have a garden. That's her enjoyment. But it takes time. Like when you plant the plants, you have to put all this work into it. And you put the seed in there, and then it takes time to grow. Some plants grow much quicker than others, and then some plants, it's like, oh, you ever gonna, you got to give them encouragement. You got to be out there with some positive, these positive, like, things off of YouTube or whatever, saying it to the plant to try to help it along quicker. But some plants just take longer to grow. Same with ideas, businesses, careers, anything. Same with a hobby or project, whatever it is, and whatever this represents for you. But I think you're going to start seeing some results, but it might be you feeling like you put so much effort and energy into something, because I feel like with this Eight of Pentacles, this is you putting a lot of energy and effort, conscious effort into something. And by the end of the few months, you might be getting a little discouraged, because although you're seeing certain results, you've gained certain results, or you've gained certain abilities, it's not maybe going as quickly as you would like. So this is a card of having patience. This is also a card of reassessing, am I doing this maybe the most streamlined way? Is it worth continuing this? If it is worth continuing this, is there a way to kind of do it where I get results a little quicker? This is also a card of figuring out, well, what is kind of the next phase as far as this? Because he's planted all this stuff, and now it's like he has to wait, but what is he going to do next, in a sense? He has to maintain this. He has to maintain that these are going to grow, but it's a card of just trying to figure out and be patient, in a sense. I get this a lot, especially with this YouTube channel, because I think it's just going to be slow growing. I think it's just going to be one of these things. It kind of gets to where it is eventually, and it might never even get to really anywhere, because I think I have a very niche-y concept here and ideas, and some of my ideas that I want to do in the future might be a little silly. I don't know if everybody's going to kind of get it, but to me, it's going to be fun. So to me, it's like worth it. Although it might not seem like it's other people might not understand it, which it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you got to make yourself happy. But it's kind of like, is it worth all the effort? But I definitely think it is. I just think things sometimes take time. And I think we live in a society where we want it now. You know, we want quick results. And things are not always like that. Like a lot of times we see people and, you know, these very positive, you know, these business people, and they're like, oh yeah, if you do this, you do this, you do this, you get this. And it almost sounds like it's immediate, but I don't think it works like that. I think it takes time. Sometimes things kind of take off for certain people a little quicker, but sometimes other things take a lot of time. So I think it's just kind of coming back down to the reality that this, whatever this represents, you probably are going to have to continue with the hard work, but it just takes time. That's all it is. So anyway, but your challenge for the few months is the star reverse. Now, this is indicating that I think you might be getting frustrated. I think you might be put all this work in. I feel like with whatever this could be, you could have been having the anxiety about it. Maybe it was something you felt like compelled to do, or you felt like if I don't do, maybe I'll regret it, or whatever reasons, but you're really working on something, and with the slow results, I think you're getting a little frustrated. And I think this is your challenge, is going to be to just be patient, you know, because you might not be getting the results as quickly as you like. So you might be getting a little disheartened. You might be like, oh, this is never going to work. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe I'm never going to get the success or recognition or to the end of whatever this represents for you. So that's your challenge. But what's recommended for you with the Queen of Wands is extremely positive. So this is just saying, keep doing it. Like the Queen of Wands, she's really confident. So I think this is saying just have confidence in yourself. You know, keep doing it, keep actively doing it, because she's very active. And she's the type that's going to do things her own way. So maybe whatever this represents for you, you're doing it your own way. And maybe that's why you came in with it, with some of this anxiety, because you might, if you're doing it a way that nobody else has done or your own way, then you have to figure it out. Like you have to figure it out from square one, you know? So, but I think that, and that would cause more anxiety because like you're just doing it differently. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's great. But the Queen of Wands is here to say, just keep trying. And she's also very social. I always see her as like my social butterfly too. So I wonder if this is even saying that there might be other people or a community with whatever this represents that you could probably be learning certain, I don't want to say skills, but there might be some information out there, or you could kind of jump ahead in a sense by seeing how other people are doing whatever this represents for you, and maybe there's a better way. Maybe some people have solved or figured out some problems, and it could help you kind of move a little quicker, or, you know, help you add fertilizer to this Seven of Pentacles here to make these pentacles kind of grow a little faster. So I think she's saying just stay at it, you know, stay confident, stay positive about it, and just keep doing it. Keep trying. Keep trying. So let's see what else we get for you. So first up, we have Butterfly Spirit. Transformation is beautiful. And I think this is you kind of transforming in some type of way, because I feel like you're going from this anxiety state to something, some type of active. Sometimes I feel like this Nine of Swords, it's almost like you have anxiety on something because you're not actually doing whatever it is. You're fearing stuff. And sometimes when we're not in control, when we're not physically actively taking control, we allow fear to set in. It's easier for fear and anxiety to set in. But when you start actively doing something, you feel like, okay, I'm kind of doing this. I'm kind of in control, and I'm the captain of my own ship at this point. So I think you are going to be the captain of your own ship moving through the few months. And I think that's really, really good. But I think within that, it's almost going to be like a transformative experience. Because if you think this Eight of Pentacles, he's transforming something. He's working on it. And then the Seven of Pentacles, now this guy is kind of, he's growing these things. Like he's trying to transform them as well. He's transforming them into seeds, from seeds to like these pentacle plants. So I think that's really, really good. And the Queen of Wands, I see her as very transformative as well. because she has an idea or she wants to do something, she's going to do it. She doesn't give a damn. She doesn't care what anybody else thinks. She is doing what she wants, the way she wants, how she wants, and that's all. But with the Star, this is an energy of kind of not really having faith in yourself, not really pursuing a goal or a dream, or feeling like a block, or feeling that you're never going to achieve what you really, really want. So I think you're in this process of whatever this represents for you, you're transforming something into something else, or you're transforming yourself into something else. And I think that is extremely wonderful. So, but that's a process. Like this butterfly here, when it was a caterpillar, like it doesn't know, it just instinctually. And I feel like with the Star, because to me the Star is kind of that instinct as well, that you really feel in your gut something's meant for you, and you kind of have that blind faith that you're going to figure it out one step at a time. So I think instinctually some of you may know that whatever this represents, it's really going to be good for you. You're really meant for it, but it's having that blind faith as well. So with the butterfly, he like is born and he becomes this caterpillar, and he's just walking around, and one day he's like, you know what? Maybe he doesn't feel very well, so he's going to find a nice little place to hang out. And then all of a sudden he starts making the cocoon. And he might not know why he's doing it, but he's doing it. He's just compelled instinctually to make a cocoon. And he doesn't really know that he's going to be making his own little bed, his own little apartment for however long he's going to be in there. And he might not know that he's eventually going to be able to fly. Like, he doesn't know. So he goes in one way and he transitions and he comes out a whole different thing. But instinctually, he knows that although he's never flown before and now he has these wings and all these like appendages or whatever, that he's going to go someplace and he's just going to jump off of it, and that's it, and he's going to be able to do it. So instinctually, he's transformed and he's just trusting the process, and he's kind of like on his new little butterfly life, fluttering around everything, going from plant to plant. So I think this is you just having to kind of trust your gut and just one step at a time as you go from a little caterpillar into your own personal butterfly. Now, we have this word again, which I can't pronounce, but it says, remember your worth. So I think this is just always, because to me, with this 8 of Pentacles, even with the 7 of Pentacles here, these are not without problems. These are not, you know, that energy that does not have problems. Things go wrong. They're in the working, practical aspect, working stage of this. They're figuring it out, and it could be frustrating. Yeah, absolutely. This is frustrating energy, you know, especially if you expect quicker results or more results and you're not getting it, but you see something, you see like the little sprout coming out. Maybe there's like a little leaf coming out and you're like, okay, that's good, but it's not as big. There's no fruit on it. It's kind of taking its time. So this is that energy where you have to remember your worth. Even with the Star in reverse, you have to remember your worth. You have to remember that, you know what, I can do this. I am able to do this. I am more than capable of doing this, and I'm going to do it. So the Queen of Wands is I'm going to do it. That's the energy, and you have to remember I'm going to do it. And then you have love calls. Someone express love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. And I kind of feel like if you're in a stage where you're kind of frustrated right now and you're kind of feeling a little like, oh, this is not going to work, maybe this wasn't a good idea, reach out to somebody who has your back. Reach out to, like, if you have your mom that's really supportive, or a best friend, or anybody that has your back, genuinely has your back. Not like some fake friend or whatever, but like a friend that's like going to be like, no, you got this, you know, you can do this. Reach out to them to just try to have some of that little inspiration, that little spark. And if you don't have anybody, you could search positive motivational stuff on YouTube, and there's all these videos. I forgot what they called them, hype up videos or something. They had some kind of term, and I thought it was nice. It was for people going to the gym or whatever, or, you know, running or doing whatever, needing some kind of this hyped up or hype up or whatever. Go on YouTube. If you don't have anybody to call that really has your back, go on YouTube, listen to one of these videos over and over again, or listen to a multiple of them, and just let that absorb into your brain. So, and then you have trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. And I think this is really going with that you need to have faith. Like the Star card is all about kind of having that faith, that dream, you know, trying to make it into reality, but that's all about faith. And I think with this reverse, you might be questioning a lot of things here, but you just need to have faith that you are going to have the results you want eventually. And trust yourself that you can do this. Now, calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Now, this obviously could be maybe you're working on yourself because eventually you want to have a relationship or whatever, or you're working on something with a relationship. But I think whatever you're doing here, whatever work you're doing here is actually putting you on a path that is going to help you either find maybe the perfect partner or even the perfect situation or opportunity or hobby, whatever it is for yourself. Because I feel like sometimes we could just be really, really good at certain things and we don't know until we go through like other things, and then eventually it helps lead us to hobbies or jobs or whatever it is that we really are natural at. So I feel like whatever this is, you're headed in a good direction, although you may not feel it, you might not realize it right now, but you are headed in a better direction for yourself in the future. Now you have, once you stop chasing the wrong things, the right ones catch you. And I think this is, I feel like with some of this anxiety, and now some of this anxiety could be lingering through this, because sometimes when things don't go well, this anxiety kind of is there. Like it doesn't go away all the time, although you might be feeling like you're a little bit in more control. But I think with the Star in reverse, you might still be feeling this. But I think this is saying that if you know in your gut that you're on the right path, because sometimes like we know what we should be doing with our minds, but our hearts tell us something else. And it's a tricky situation because sometimes your heart is completely dumb and you should not follow your heart sometimes in some situations. But then other times your mind is completely dumb and you need to follow your heart. So it's one of these situations that I think you kind of need to bring both aspects in and really evaluate and make sure that logically this is a good thing for you and your heart is in it for the long run as well. But I think this is saying that maybe some of you have been chasing something different in the past. And I think this is saying that you just need to, I feel like this might be something that you really want to do, or you're very interested in, or you know deep down is going to be beneficial to you in the future. And I think this is saying that don't get caught up in things that you might have been chasing that never really worked out correctly. Because I feel like although this is taking its time, I think that you are seeing some sprouts here. So I think this is very positive. So I think these little sprouts are catching you. I think the Seven of Pentacles, I think your hard work, things are catching you now. And I think that's really, really good. So I feel like this situation is something that's like gonna be catching you in a sense. Now you have, today I am curious. Today I will open my mind and explore new possibilities and opportunities. And I think this is you being curious here. And I think that's perfect. I think that's amazing, especially with the Queen of Wands. She's exploring everything. She is very active. She's a doer. She's a do-it-yourselfer as well. But she also knows how to enlist other people to kind of like she networks really well. I always see her as like a little social butterfly, a little networky person too. But I think this is fantastic. And there might be different ways of doing this that you need to explore as well. Now for your little Bob Ross, we have be so very light, be a gentle whisper. And I feel like that's going with this Nine of Swords here. I think if you're having this anxiety, and even with the Star card in reverse, like this kind of self-doubt, you know, feeling maybe you're never going to achieve your dream or you're never going to really get to the end of the goal. I think you need to have any negative thoughts that come into your brain. You need to have them being like a gentle whisper that like blows away. So, and that's hard. It's not always easy, but any negativity, you'd be like, blow it away like a gentle whisper. Like, you know, okay, there's a negative thought coming, but then there it goes. It doesn't linger. Don't let it linger. Okay, so let's see what Spirit of the Dish we get for you for these few months. You have the Spirit of the Fountain, which is the Spirit of the Fountain Soda. For your dinner and a movie, you have comedy films and American food. For the energies you either need to tap into or be aware of, you have Virgo, which is all about communications and thought processes, but they're also a very organized sign and they're detail orientated. So I feel like that's really going here. Even with the Eight of Pentacles, he's extremely detail oriented, but even the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like anytime these pentacles maybe potentially grow a leaf or whatever, or grow something, he's going to know about it. Like this guy is going to know about it. Anytime something, if like a bird or rabbit or somebody comes through here, he's going to know about it. So I feel like he's very detailed orientated because he's kind of watching these things and he's like, he's waiting. But I think that's fantastic. So now you also have Libra, and this is about love, money, powers of attraction, but it's also about kind of balancing things out. So I feel like with this energy, you always have to kind of balance these things. So that's really important too, because I feel like he's so focused on something. I think the problem the Eight of Pentacles could, and even the Seven of Pentacles, they could get so hyper focused that they might not be focusing on other things that actually could help them figure this out a little quicker. Like I know with me, sometimes I get super hyper focused on something, but as soon as I take a break from it or I don't do it for a little while and I come back to it, I realize, or within that break, because my brain is always thinking about stuff, or trying to figure out if I have a problem or something, I'm always trying to figure it out. Within that, if I take a step away from it, it gives me time to either look at it differently or think about it or think the process through. And when I come back, I'm able to try it a different way that may be more beneficial. So sometimes when your attention is not quite on something, it gives your mind a second to now reevaluate it. I mean, we all think differently. This is just me. Like if something breaks in my house, it drives me nuts. Like I have to fix it. Like it's a problem. I can't sleep at night sometimes because if something goes, I have to mess around with it, and I'm always trying to fix everything. But sometimes if I find something frustrating or I'm not getting it correctly, if I take a step back, I figure it out. Sometimes you figure it out in weird times. So it's good. It's good. But usually things when they break in the house, it's just trial and error. It's kind of pulling one thing out, taking one thing off, putting something else on, you know. So usually it's just replacing pieces. So usually it's kind of easier unless there's something that doesn't want to come apart effectively. But most things as far as like the house stuff goes, you know, you just have to, you know, they come apart fairly decently. So, but there's always other things. There's always kind of that troubleshooting aspect with anything as well. But anyway, so then you have here, we have Venus, and this is all about love, money, and the powers of attraction as well. So this could be something that you love or have a lot of love in it. And then here we have the South Node, which is things that you need to release. So I think this fear and this self-doubt, maybe you need to release it. You have the 8th house here, which represents change, transformation, debts, and secrets. And then you have the 9th house, which represents higher education, growth, expansion, religion, and philosophy. And you have the number 1 here, which is an odd number. So that means the special guest that will be answering your questions today, Aquarius, will be the Magic 8 Ball. Think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. You have L, M, V, J, G, S, F, and 7. And you have hope, and I think you just have to keep having hope because the star energy upright is all about that kind of hope as well. So you just have to have hope, have faith in yourself and your skills. Let's see what little charmy we get for you. Okay, you have the cherries. So I feel like this is saying that whatever this is could be your cherry that you were meant to. But even because you have the love call here, this call thing, you might just need to find somebody else that's like your other cherry, that's going to kind of cheer you on and keep you inspired or keep you motivated or just tell you that, you know, you can do this. So I think that's really great. And it's like a fun fruit. Cherries are kind of like fun loving. So you just might have to bring a little fun into this as well. So, and of course, if a cherry means something different to you, always go with what something means for you, because everything means different things to different people. So, but I just feel like you just got to have fun. But I feel like maybe there is somebody within this that you can reach out to that kind of is gonna kind of just be your little positive half for you. Okay, now it is time. Let's get them over here. Okay, Aquarius, think of those questions. It's time to ask. Oh, mystical, magical 8-ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Aquarius's question? It says, concentrate and ask again. Okay, Aquariuses, you gotta focus here. This is important. Here we go. Oh, mystical, magical 8-ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the universe. What is the answer to Aquarius's question? Don't count on it. The 8-ball has spoken. There you guys go. I hope you all have a wonderful few months, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.